guys, welcome back to Discovering Disability. My name's Morwen Nightingael and today we'll be talking about multiple sclerosis. So what exactly is MS? So MS is an abnormal hardening of the tissue and is a chronic, typically progressive disease, which involves damage to the sheaths of the nerves in the brain and the spinal cord. So there are no specific stages of MS and there are 4 different kinds. The first is relapsing remitting, and those with relapse remitting will have flare-ups or attacks where the symptoms flare up, and this is what a relapse is. And these relapses or attacks are followed by a time of recovery where there are few or no symptoms, and this is called remission. So the symptoms you can get with relapse remitting MS are eye pain and vision problems, numbness and tingling, sensitivity to heat, pain that runs down the spine, dizziness, bowel or bladder problems, sexual problems, stiff muscles and trouble moving your body, feeling weak and tired, problems with balance and coordination, a hard time thinking clearly, and depression. The second type of MS is called secondary progressive. Most people with the first kind will eventually get this kind. The relapses and remissions that used to come and go will steadily get worse over time. So along with the symptoms of the first type of MS, patients with secondary progressive will also experience more weakness and trouble with coordination, stiff tight leg muscles, and will have a harder time with fatigue, depression, and problems thinking. The third type of MS is progressive relapsing. So similar to the first 2 types, this is where you will have relapses and remission periods, but may not recover after these attacks. Between the relapses, the disease will continue to get slowly worse. The fourth and last kind of MS is primary progressive. So this type of MS mainly affects the nerves of the spinal cord, and once it starts, will get worse over time. So along with the first 3 types of MS with their symptoms, the other symptoms those with this kind of MS will also experience: problems with walking, weak stiff legs, trouble with balance, trouble with speech or swallowing, extra vision problems, and more fatigue and pain. So the exact cause of MS is unknown, although what is known so far suggests it's a combination of environmental and genetic factors. For example, those who are related to someone with MS are more likely to develop it, and it was also found that MS is more common in countries that don't get as much sun as others, which suggests that a possible cause is a lack of vitamin D. So MS is actually thought to affect approximately 2.3 million people worldwide. In more exact numbers, that's approximately 127,000 people in the UK and approximately 100,000 people per year diagnosed in the USA. So those with MS will always have access to a specialist neurological rehabilitation team. This includes a neurologist, a physiotherapist, a speech and language therapist, an occupational therapist, a continence advisor, a psychologist, a social worker, a pharmacist, and a specialist MS nurse who will normally be the point of contact between the patient and the hospital. On top of that, there are some drugs as well that can be given to help the condition, such as IV steroids or Tysabri, also known as natalizumab. So as always, we'll now go over the myths of MS. So the first myth is that MS is a death sentence. So actually this is a common misconception. Life expectancy for those with MS is almost the same expectancy as those without the condition, which is about 71 years. The second myth is that those with MS will always need a wheelchair. Actually, another common misconception, most people with MS will never need a wheelchair or even a walking aid. The third myth is that MS is always the same for everyone that gets it. MS is actually very unpredictable and no 2 MS patients will have exactly the same symptoms. The ones we went over earlier are the basis ones. Not everyone will experience every single symptom or at the same level as anyone else. The fourth is that women with MS will never be able to get pregnant. So actually pregnancy could be a good thing for women with MS. The majority of women with MS will actually go into remission from the disease in the 3rd trimester. However, there is a chance of a bad relapse after delivery. So the fifth is that those with MS should not exercise. So unless those with MS are currently relapsing, exercise can actually be extremely beneficial for them. In particular, aerobic exercise has been found to be very beneficial. It can improve many of the symptoms, such as bladder and bowel problems, fatigue, and depression. And that's the end of the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. My question for you this week is, have you ever known anyone with MS, or do you have it yourself? And how do you know feeling more about it? And if you do have it, what are your experiences or tips or advice or any other facts you have about it that you can share with us. Hit me up in the comments, guys, or send me a message. I'm always here for anyone who has any questions, and I'm always here to learn more as well from anyone who can teach me something else. And as always, hit that like button if you liked the video, hit subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you in the next video.